Welcome to She Coaches Coaches. I'm your host, Candy Motzek, and I'm going to help you find the clarity, confidence, and courage to become the coach that you are meant to be. If you're a new coach, or if you've always wanted to be a life coach, then this is the place for you. We're going to talk all about mindset and strategies and how to, because step by step only works when you have the clarity, courage, and confidence to take action. Let's get started. Hi there, and welcome to this episode of She Coaches Coaches. I am so glad you're here. Today, we're moving on to the second of two back-to-back episodes about how to quit your job and be a full-time coach. It's summer, and by the time you hear this episode, especially if you listen right when it goes live, I'll be on vacation for a couple of days. I'm excited. It's been a while, and we're going to go up to our place on the coast. We're going to spend time boating, kayaking, hiking, and even just enjoying the scenery. All of that nature stuff that I love so much. If we're lucky, we might even see some whales. But for sure, we're going to see lots of fish. My husband might even catch something, who knows? And we'll see seals with their seal pups too, because it's just that time of the year. What about you? I hope you're taking some time away this summer too. I would love to hear about it. You can always send me a note, and I hope you get a chance to relax, recharge, and have fun. Okay, so let's dive into today's episode. In the previous episode, I told you about the 5-step process that I recommend when you're doing something like this, becoming a full-time coach. They are: first, decide that you want to quit your job. Second, commit to making it happen. Third, work towards the goal. Fourth, make the transition. And 5, create your new normal. I emphasize these 5 steps because I want your transition to be a success. When you treat this as a well thought out, well managed project, you're going to avoid so much stress and worry and all of the additional things that just might happen if you jump in too quickly. That episode gave you a good grounding in what actions to take, how to plan it, and then execute your plan. If you haven't listened to it yet, make sure to go back and listen to it after you're done with this one. So today, we're going to talk about your mindset, your thoughts and feelings, and the thoughts and feelings that you might experience throughout the entire transition. Of course, each of us has a different journey, so I can't talk about every single thought that you might have. And of course, you're going to have thoughts like these. This is so exciting. I can hardly wait. I'm counting the days. Finally, I get to be my own boss. This is the life and business I've always wanted. It's going to be my turn to do what I want. I've taken care of everyone else, and now it's my turn. And with those thoughts come feelings of excitement, motivation, thrilled, filled with joy, anticipation. And I don't want to discount that those thoughts are going to be with you, and they're wonderful. And you don't need help with those thoughts. So let's talk about the places that might get a little uncomfortable. The thoughts, feelings, opinions, beliefs that don't support you. My guess is those are the ones that you actually need the support with. There are 3 general groupings of thoughts that we're going to talk about today. The first, this is a big risk, is the first. It might sound like that, or it might sound like, oh, this is not a good idea. It's not safe. The second grouping, they sound like this. What will other people think of me? Meaning, will they think I'm silly? Will they think I'm stupid? They'll think something bad about me. And then the third grouping, what if it just doesn't work? What if I'm a failure? Now, I could do an episode on each of these groupings, but let's just talk about them now a little bit, because I know there's some few things that I can help you with. So that first grouping, the one that sounds like this is a big risk. When you're in this place, it might sound like this. Why don't I just stay where I am? I've got my safe, secure career where I'm successful. People know me. I've got a great title. I know them, and I can count on my paycheck. I know my bonuses and my benefits. Or someone else may have said something to you that sounds like this. What? You've worked so hard to become the general manager or to reach VP. You've got it made. Why would you want to risk that? Or you've only got 10 more years and then you're going to retire with an amazing pension. Why would you want to take the chance? And there are thousands of people who make the decision to stay where they are because of that type of thinking. They decide the security, the future pension, the possibility of early retirement is more important to them. And there is nothing wrong with that. Those are wonderful decisions to make. But for you, though, ask yourself, is it enough? Is it enough for you? If you decide to stay in your current role, you can still be a coach. These things are not mutually exclusive. Consider doing a hybrid. Create your coaching business on the side, and then when it gets the size that you want, if it replaces your current salary and benefits and bonuses, then you can quit. But you don't have to. You never actually have to be full-time self-employed if you don't want to. No one says you have to quit. No one says you have to coach exclusively. These hybrid models are very satisfying for so many people. I've got clients who make this choice all the time, and it works so well for them. Maybe it is a good option for you, so consider it. Now, there is one thing I want you to consider. It's not 100% true that staying in your role is the most safe and secure approach. Companies restructure and downsize all the time. There are mergers, acquisitions, or for whatever reason, a company just decides to close its doors. All of those decisions are made by the C-suite. If you're in a public company, they're made by satisfying shareholder demand, and they are out of your control. That means, to me anyway, staying in a job might feel safe and secure, but it's actually not the safest. And it's because your role, your job, your pay, your benefits are always subject to somebody else's decision. You could be downsized at any moment, so don't be fooled. The safest and most secure is when you have control over your career. Again, this could mean having a thriving side hustle as a coach, being so satisfied with coaching wonderful clients, or it may mean being a coach full-time. So the next time somebody says to you, isn't that kind of risky? Quitting your job? Why would you quit a safe, secure job? Why would you leave that job? Why would you take that risk? You get to decide whether you agree with them or not. The second grouping, what will people think? Oh yeah, we worry about other people's opinions. Some of us worry more about other people's opinions even than we think about our own opinions. There are a couple things at play here. So from a historical perspective, we survived by being part of a community. So being shunned or alone or excommunicated would mean certain death. So at one level, we do care what others think because we might be worried that we'll be cast out. Now that was then. We don't need others for our physical survival, not now that we're adults, but we do still need and want community, connection, love, relationships. It's true. When you take a different path, some of your relationships will change. Some may even wither away, but you will also create new relationships. And you're going to be drawn to connecting with others who are creating a life that they want too. Also remember, when we try to satisfy what we think they might be thinking, it's like living on Jell-O because we never actually know what they're thinking. It's what we think they might be thinking. It's kind of weird, right? It's us thinking about their thoughts. And of course, we can never know exactly what they're thinking. And then we try to live in accordance with our imagination's version of their opinion. And even if we do know it, their opinion is just that, their opinion. It's their thought based on how they think, their life experience about life. But this is your life. That other person, they get to live their life and you get to live yours. I always remember this Eleanor Roosevelt quote when I worry about other people's opinions. And she said, "You wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realize how seldom they do." We are so wrapped up in our own life, our own wins and losses, our own hurts and desires and goals. We're wrapped up in ourselves. And rarely do we spend a lot of time thinking about somebody else's choices. When we do, it's mostly just in passing. Sometimes it's because we're jealous, judgmental, and other times we might just be encouraged and be reminded of what could be possible for us too. The third, this grouping sounds like this: I might fail. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. It might not work. Now realize, I might fail does not mean the same thing as I am a failure. More accurately, it might mean you are enough. You are just an amazing human, creating something new, a life that you're excited about, and you've never done this before. It may also mean that this iteration, this version, didn't work exactly the way I wanted it to. And even though this version didn't work exactly right, I can still learn from it and adjust and try again. I wish I could tell you 100% for sure you're going to be successful, you're going to thrive, you're going to have more clients than you want, you're only going to have fun, and you'll make a pile of money, and it's going to be fast and painless. But I can't, and I won't. You are smart and resourceful. And it would be a disservice to paint this with pink rainbows and sparkly unicorn stickers. It would be a disservice for me to pretend that it's guaranteed and that it will always be fun and easy and fast, because that wouldn't be right. And I know you can handle it. You've done hard things before, and all of this being said, it's worth it. I think it's good to look at what might happen, to acknowledge the unknown and decide and commit to sticking with it anyway, to do your best to make sure it does work out the way you want it to. If not the first time, the next time. I'll tell you for sure, though, it will never happen unless you make a decision and commit to making it happen, and then get to work to create it. So if you allow the fear of it might fail to hold you back, then you're guaranteed it will never happen. Did you get that? The 100% recipe for failure. If you want to be 100% sure that it will fail, do this. Don't start, don't try, don't decide, don't commit. Here are a couple of things that you may not realize. And this goes for everyone who's creating and growing and developing into something and someone they've never been before. Fear is normal. Worry is normal. Once you accept that you will have those emotions, that they're part of being human, and then you can still decide to keep going anyway. In a word, have your own back and be willing to feel nervous or worried and not let it stop you. You get to decide. Then even if it doesn't quite work out the way you expected the first time, you're going to learn from it and try something new. Maybe it takes longer than you originally thought. Maybe it is more difficult. But as long as you keep going, working to create that coaching practice that you've imagined of, the one that you dream of, you will create it. What could be more inspiring than realizing this is the life, the business, the impact I've always wanted, and here I am creating it right now. Remember, you are enough. You can do this. Even when it's tough, it's worth it. And I believe in you. Hey, I so appreciate that you're here and that you're part of my community. Now, if you want more help in becoming a coach, check out the link in the episode notes to find out how to apply to work with me. And don't forget, sign up for my free resource library. It's filled with all kinds of resources and tools. You can use it to get started right now. It's called the Coaches Online Business Academy. Click the link in the episode notes to sign up today. All right, that is it for today. I am so thankful that you're here spending time with me, and I'll be back to speak with you again next week. Thanks again for listening today. Please hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. Also, I would love to hear from you. Did something that I say resonate? What else would you like to learn about? Click the link in the player and leave a comment on the post. This is going to give me great ideas for future episodes so I can help you best. Join me again next week for more coaching, support, and teaching to help you become the confident coach you are meant to be.